think I...
Wait, I think you, there you are. Oh my God. You have no idea how excited I am.
Oh, my little truthometer hairs are all ago. You are a phenomenally lovely human being.
Oh my
Bless you,
God,
bless
look
you
who's
for asking me to do
talking.
this, and all of your videos and all of your observations. I could weep hearts for you. I am. Can you see them? I should have had green screen. Damn it.
No, you're totally fine.
Oh,
It's just
no,
I'm
we're
literally
freezing.
in a small New York City apartment. What you're looking at is half of my wall. This is like an 8-foot photographer's green screen, not even a like actor's film green screen that I have sideways. And this is basically my dining room. And then my living room is over there, my bedroom, my kitchen. So I don't have a lot of space to set up. So this doesn't leave. And there are claw marks. I don't know if you've
That's
seen
why
it.
we didn't see you doing dance moves and
No,
routines.
no. But
Okay.
at one point you almost
For
saw me
future
lying.
videos.
Yes, you almost saw me lying on the floor and acting with you, though. It was
There's
so
only one
bad.
scene that could be from. Oh my gosh.
It was so bad. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I got so excited. I set everything up. I angled it. I have a hardwood floor. I angled the camera down. I got down. I filmed it like 3 times, hoping that the timing was right to splice in the footage from the actual show. And then I watched it and I realized the top part of my head was cut off and the microphone cord was right over my shoulder. So I was like, I can't use any of this. I mean, courage.
And your kitty cats, did you lock them in? Oh, beautiful, courage. Do you know the French word for heart is cœur? So I always love that courage had heart in it, as it does.
I did not know that, and I took French in high school. I had a crappy teacher, but I did not, she never learned body parts, I guess. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, so for everyone else, hello. Welcome to David's Den. I'm David. I make videos on Stephen King and his adaptations, and today we are joined by the absolute goddess of talent, Jennie Raymond, who has a starring role in Chapelwaite as Alice Burroughs. And wait, I wrote down other credits for of yours. Wait, no, those are questions for you. The questions are at top. Okay, here we are. So my question for you, Jennie, is who are you? What have you done? And why do we care? No, I'm kidding. Okay,
wow.
She played Alice Burroughs in Chapelwaite. ACTRA Award winner, Canadian Screen Award nominee, and Pearls, Sex and Violence. All of these things look fantastic, and I tried to find them over the last week since we organized this, so I could watch some of them. Nothing is available to Americans.
Streaming platforms separate iTunes Canada, iTunes US.
Yeah, it's about rights.
Somebody should pick up some of these amazing Canadian series that I've had the pleasure of working in over the past 35 years, including Pit Pony. Where did that go? That was the beginning of Elliot Page. Beautiful series based on Joyce Barkos, local Nova Scotia novelist, and anyway.
Yeah, I knew nothing about it. I saw the credit on your IMDb. I use something called
David,
Just Watch.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. That's my job from time to time, but a pipe broke in my backyard. So
oh no!
I had somebody come and dig a big hole in my backyard that I thought you might like to.
Oh my God, I'm dying. Woof. Sebastian LaBelle. I know I was supposed to be frightened and worried for the child in that moment, but when you finish killing your wife and you turn without that shirt on and that beefy muscle body and you just go, whoo, I said, whoo, this daddy needs a break. Yeah. Hey, Sebastian LaBelle. I'm single.
Oh, hi, Seb.
Hi, Jennie. Listen.
It's really wet out there.
It's really wet out there.
Come on in. Warm yourself off.
Oh my God!
That's just my friend David Farrington from NYC. That's David.
Button up here.
No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Oh my God! Sebastian LaBelle, everyone! Woof. Okay, so I actually have to ask you something. I know, given territories and being French Canadian, I realized halfway through, am I saying your name right? Have I been saying Sebastian when it's Sebastian like this entire time?
No, around here, I go by Sebastian. It's fine.
Okay.
Sebastien is the French pronunciation, but I'm fine with either.
Okay. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Yes, by
Maybe you
like
could just
episode
say
3 of my
hello to him
reactions, I
and
was
say-
going, I
say
was in
something
my
in
head like,
French.
what was that?
Jenny suggesting that I should say hello to you in French.
Oh,
Bonjour,
ahead, say-
David. Ça va bien?
Oh, ça va, toi? Oh my God, this is so exciting.
It's amazing
How
to
are you
finally,
here?
sort of meet you.
Clementine, stop
a-
calling him. I'm gonna have Seb sit down for a minute. He's got to run in about 10 minutes, but I'm wondering if you guys could have a chat first.
Please.
Yes,
I didn't
Clementine
think
saying
you'd
hello
mind.
here the whole way through.
Yes, I'll try to
And
get
with
her
the
out of there. She
puppy.
knows not to paw because she has some seniors in her life. Not you, but with thinner skin.
It's all right. We might get some cats walking through. I think they went back to sleep though. They got all up in arms as I was moving my apartment around to set this up. Oh my God, how are you on my computer screen right now live?
Here I am. Well, Jenny let me know this was happening, and you know, put the bug in my ear and thought, what if we had a little cameo appearance? And I was all in.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. My absolute daddy crush, everyone, Sebastian Labelle. Woof. You really are
Listen,
so
thank you
handsome,
so
and thank you
much
for being such
everything
a
you've been doing.
my pleasure. You guys did all the work. I'm just giving you my reactions to it. No,
Well,
thank
that's
you
what
for
it's
being
all
such a
about.
good
I mean,
sport and
for us
playing
as
along with me
actors.
on all of this.
It's been wonderful. It's been great to watch the segments and get your really astute responses to each of the episodes. You know, it just kind of really validates our work as actors when we know that people are well, paying attention at all, but also with such you know, with such consideration. It's really been amazing to tune into your channel every week after, as you know, I was always watching the episodes a week later, and so
Yes.
always made a point of then heading over to your YouTube channel to see what you had to say.
You are so sweet. Thank you so much. No, you guys are so great. And frankly, after you died at that very beginning, I was sad that you weren't coming back. And then you kept coming back.
Right?
When they put you, what was it? I think it was episode 7. It was Divermus Mysterious when the stars were behind you, basically the exact same scene. What a cool shot.
Blood calls blood, son.
I know, it's great. I had no idea it would look that great, to be honest, because I'm just looking into a hole with dirt
Right.
and a camera hidden in it. But yeah, when I saw the shot, yeah, I was amazed at how beautiful it looked, and took a little screenshot for myself just to have that image as a
As you
as a
should.
memory,
I
as a
have somehow
souvenir.
downloaded all of the episodes so I could pull clips. Tell me about your casting process, because I know Jason commented a lot that most of this was done through Zoom, that they didn't have, that everything got halted by COVID, right? So
Yeah.
what was your casting process like?
Well, this was kind of it's kind of now become the norm to send in video self-tape auditions. But at the time it was a little bit new. I'd been used to just kind of heading over to the local kind of casting agent's studio and doing an audition in front of camera there, or if there was someone from the production there as well occasionally. But this was a first to start doing regularly video self-tapes, and I'd done a few for Chapelwaite, which originally at the time was still called just simply called Jerusalem's Lot.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That was a working
Yeah.
title?
The working title was Jerusalem's Lot, and I think I auditioned for 3 or 4 different parts.
Really?
And then, you know, I got the call to audition for Robert Boone, and I got the sides, which of course is just like a scene of me essentially attempting to murder my child.
He's coming. The worm. I can't stop it.
Father, why?
Blood calls blood, son.
No.
Without a shirt.
Without a shirt, that was part of the description.
It's the best part of the entire series.
You want my body and you think I'm sexy. Come on,
Uh,
He's really beautiful beyond the outside too. I'd love you
No,
to
I
ask
know
him about how he spearheaded and has had some help, but he himself has made it so that a local, very important theater to our BIPOC community, he's been a huge part of saving a local theater called Bus Stop. That, our next step is to cast you in something with us and bring you down here for it. It's a beautiful black box theater here, and
Down
so
here,
many
you're up
artists,
for me.
get to shine because our Sebastian spearheaded and worked very hard to save this theater. It was touch and go for a while. So thanks.
I've been
Seth.
seeing your
Thanks,
posts on
Jenny.
Instagram about that. I think that's absolutely wonderful. There's nothing like live theater, especially after we've all been apart for so long. But I have to admit, the first post I ever saw that since I started following you, I was like, oh, he's doing Bus Stop. I thought the William Inge play.
So if I could just stay here till the bus pulls out again, I sure would appreciate it.
And then it took me a post or two to realize that's not at all what you were doing.
Nope.
Bus ain't pulling out.
But yeah, Jenny is very kind to bring that up. Yes, that has dominated my life for the last 2 years, is basically saving this small independent theater that was kind of on the chopping block, because the building that houses the theater was up for sale, and we needed to find a way to buy it, or else it would just get torn down and redeveloped.
Oh, no.
And so in a fantastic kind of turn of events in terms of the usual trend, we were successful and bought the building, or the cooperative that operates the theater bought the building, and now we're still going. We're busy with renovations now that we're owners of the building, but also finally starting to host live shows again. And as you were saying, like, just having audiences come together again, albeit still small for the
Yeah,
for the
what are
most
your
part.
safety practices like for that?
Well, at first we had to enforce social distancing. That's now been lifted, so more
really?
people can come in, but people still need to be masked to enter the theater. But just having people together, experiencing art together, live performance, and seeing people's reactions, and just sense of, oh yeah, that's what I've been missing.
Mhm.
Has been really, really gratifying and encouraging.
And you've created
That's
more rehearsal
amazing.
spaces as well with the new renovations?
Yeah, we're building a new rehearsal space in the basement of the building, just to allow more creative work to happen.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to go down to a basement with you, Mr. Boone.
No.
Or maybe I do. Maybe I do.
Well, it's been
Okay.
renovated. It used to look more like a kind of basement that Robert Boone would take you down to, but now it's a much nicer space.
That is absolutely fantastic. Congratulations on
Thank
all
you.
of that. That's wonderful. God, now I wish I lived closer to you guys. Like, I want to be part of all of this. Stuck down here in
Well,
New
one of
York
these days,
City.
I'm sure we'll find a way to maybe meet each other in person. New York's not that far off, so who knows?
It's not. Come on down. I have a couch and I have a large bed. I would love to see you guys and talk to all of you. Every single one of you, from you, Sebastian, and Jenny, to Jason Filardi and Trina Corkum, all of you guys have been so welcoming and wonderful, and you're sharing my stuff. You've been commenting on all my stuff. I never expected this kind of reaction. You are all truly wonderful people. You really are.
Thank you. So are you. Thank
Oh,
you so much.
it's so sweet when you lie.
I'll turn it back to Jenny, the main star of at least this interview segment.
Isn't she amazing?
And hopefully we can chat again sometime soon.
I hope so. Thank you so much for stopping in. Get back to work. You got holes to dig.
Yeah, that's where I'm heading.
Don't forget your shovel.
Oh yes, I gotta grab my shovel on the way out.
But on the shirt, you're too dressed for digging. You only wear shirts
For next time.
inside. Don't you understand? These are the rules.
Blood calls blood, son.
Thank you so much for stopping in. What a wonderful surprise.
My pleasure. Take care, David.
Bye, Woofy LaBelle.
Bye.
What was Jeff's nickname?
Oh, Hottie
Hottie
McHotterson.
McHotterson. And who is this Hottie McHotterson? Oh my God.
Hottie McHotterson was gonna come, but
I had Jeff on board too, but he also works as a substitute teacher and got called in this morning, and so couldn't join.
Wow.
But he sends his regards.
Oh, tell him I said hello and I really miss him then. Mr. LaBelle, you might have some competition. Woof. Oh my God, that would have, I mean, you two already did a little something for me.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, on Instagram. I think it's still posted, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hello, this is Woofy LaBelle.
And I'm Hottie McHotterson.
And we love David's Den.
I'm sorry, he's a stunningly beautiful man. And he walked on screen and my first thought was, what the hell? And then I felt like I was cheating on you.
No.
seeing Hottie McHotterson this summer playing the Scottish King.
That's right.
in another
Really?
beautiful outdoor theater in our sweet province.
Oh my gosh. See, I need to live up near with you guys.
Yeah.
Jenny and I have talked about it. We're worried about how the cat and dog are going to get along, but I might come move in.
But, you know, it's really funny when I saw your trailer for the episode on Instagram, and you mentioned in it that, you know, I had some competition. I wondered who it might be. And then when I finally watched the full segment and realized it was Jeff, because Jeff and I are good friends in real life.
You mentioned, yeah.
And live very close to each other as well. And so, yeah, of course, I burst out laughing when I realized it was Jeff, and I immediately gave him a call and told him about it all. And so we organized this little video for you.
Yeah, on my side, I woke up and saw a comment on YouTube from you that just said, I have a surprise for you if you can figure out what credit we have together. I have never opened IMDb so fast in my life. Because I was like, what's the surprise? Sebastian's giving me a surprise? So like I logged on, and I think I mentioned to you there were four unnamed either acolyte or vampire characters. And of the four, two of them were male and three of them had shared credits with you, and two of them were male. So I was like, okay, it's one of these two, and I just put every possible option in my answer to you.
Yeah, and you guessed
one of these is gonna win
that I forgotten about. So so you won. You know, you won despite my challenge, I guess.
And I think I gave you Digstown, right? Which
Yeah,
I've noticed a lot of you have credits on. Trina, I think, had a credit on there, and it's not a show I'd ever heard of. We don't have that down here.
No, it's a great local production that CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC airs, and it's in season 3 now, and it's a legal drama that follows a legal aid lawyer and deals with a lot of really astute social and political issues, very focused on BIPOC casting, and just some great storytelling, and features tons of local talent. So now that it's in season 3, a lot of us local actors have had that series as shared credit. CBC has a streaming platform called Gem, but I don't know if you can
Gem
use it from.
I'm writing this down. JEM or GEM?
GEM. CBC Gem, and you can
Okay.
stream it for free.
Maybe
but
Netflix,
maybe
now
not
that they have a main office in Toronto, maybe they should be picking up a
Yeah,
lot of
maybe Netflix
already
should-
previously made Canadian awesome shows.
That's right.
That would
ones
be
currently
fantastic.
being produced.
Yes, excellent point, Jenny. I mean, they've already got Schitt's Creek and Kim's Convenience, so they should really get Digstown on there.
Absolutely.
And then I've been trying to find Jenny's and can't find any of it. Although I watched, I wonder if you can guess, Jenny, what the one credit you have on IMDb is that I was able to watch yesterday here in America.
Oh, no, she just stepped out with Clementine,
Oh.
but I'm going to try and guess that. I don't know. Is it sex and violence?
No, and that's the one I wanted to see. I mean, besides the title just being fantastic, the premise looked amazing. And I think Jenny actually sent me a clip on Facebook Messenger. She's like, I have something you should see. And I think it was from Sex and Violence. Yeah, no, it was a movie. It wasn't a series. It was a movie.
Oh,
We'll
I
see
don't
if she
know.
can guess
I
it when
mean,
she comes back in.
Jenny has a lot of credits, so I don't know where to.
I know, and I searched each one individually.
Jenny, David's got a question for you about trying to. No, you were able to find one particular.
There's
credit of
only
Jenny
one
watching.
credit. I went piece by piece through your IMDb over this last week trying to find things to watch besides Chapelwaite that you were in. And there was only one credit you have that I was able to actually find and stream here in America. And it wasn't, I had to rent it as well. It wasn't like included in the platform, but there's only one thing. I wonder if you know what it is.
Was it either Captive or Love and Death on Long Island from like 35, 40 years ago?
Neither one of those. It's not available to stream anywhere, not even to rent.
It's secret.
I need
in Haven.
more Chapelwaite seasons.
We do. We do.
We do. And it
That'd
needs
be
to be a
amazing.
prequel. Jason said he would cast it that way, Sebastian. So get your breath
I
mints
know.
out. There's going to be lots of making out with vampire teeth.
Well, you know, there are some bits of script that I read when preparing for shooting that were prequel bits in the sense that they were set in the time period of Robert and Philip that did not make
Really?
it into the show, but like the time period when they're kids.
Can Robert and I go outside now? All right.
Were more scripted scenes of Robert and Philip as children that I remember reading that did not make it in the show.
That's
So presumably there's some prequel written material out there
that's
that could be
fantastic.
used.
Speaking of that, I had questions about Sebastian. You had mentioned that you only saw your pages, like you watched the series and didn't know what was going to happen, right?
No, that's
And
right.
I had a question for you, Jenny, of how much did you know? Like, did you get the entire series or just your storyline?
I don't know whether the main 5 were privy to the story arc and all episodes, but they shot in blocks of 2 episodes at once, and that's all
Okay.
we ever got. All of us, all the way through. So for me, I do such deep work with scripts, and I trust as I go. And I think we've talked before in messaging or something about story first, right?
Yes, always story
So-
first. I had mentioned that moment. In fact, I could play the clip. Sure, I literally went through yesterday and pulled out separate clips of every scene you're in case we wanted to show any. But it was the scene at the funeral.
And we ask that you fill our hearts with forgiveness and love in place of hate. That you heal us with understanding instead of anger. That you grace us with righteous truth and deliver us from the devil's poisonous self of idle gossip.
And I had made a comment about your choice to quickly look at your father when the sermon doesn't go the way he expects, how you threw in the reaction without stealing his moment.
Righteous truth and deliver us from the devil's poisonous self of idle gossip.
Because it wasn't about Alice at the moment, it was about Sam in the storytelling. And that's when we started talking about that. Yeah, your economy.
Well, I think we also have some really good editors, and thank goodness there were 3 cameras, because again, how I would be in the role of Alice on stage versus what I gave them as choices throughout very quietly. I mean,
right.
I was never in playing from a place of I'm going to steal the scene as Miss Burroughs, but I can't not help the moments of checking my husband, checking dad, you know, this is her world, right? Like,
Yeah.
and her reality. And then of course, Susan Mallory dying of this disease, what it was sort of bringing up in the loss of Elizabeth and Israel, the twins, right? And like,
Right.
just, you know, but yeah, whether an acting choice or not, they're not really choices. I kind of
Happens in the moment.
Yeah.
Live in the moment, and it happens.
Yeah.
And isn't that the beauty of
and was so
acting
very
for
real.
film?
Like, it was much like a day to day. It was like blustery. It was so perfectly Stephen King. They couldn't have like called up the weather gods more beautifully, right? It was dark. It was windy. It was rainy. It was like quintessential funeral, you know, like essence. And all of the dynamics there of Rose Mallory now without her husband, and all these different influences that were coming in, that even when, like, it was quite amazing, because even, you know, with the Boones not in the scenes, they're in the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Right, because that is our story. And you know, just like the timing as well, being one of the first productions in North America to go ahead during COVID, right? Like, kudos to our incredible local crew. They are phenomenal. But that,
and you said there was not a breakout case, right?
COVID case during our entire run. Everybody stayed healthy and safe across our crews, through all the cast. It is quite amazing, and wasn't far of a stretch. Like, it was very palpable to be living in the realm of, like, you know, for us, the Boones associated with this plague.
Mary Dennison has the Boone pox, nothing more.
What could be COVID, right? Like, it's these weird things where, yes, it could be considered far stretch, but where our humanity is all gone, especially in our first world of privilege, this tipsy-turvy, like, you know, people calling on their neighbors, you know, so-and-so got back from so-and-so, and they're not isolating, like this thing that was very easy for me as Alice, and I think many characters, to play, of this fear, right? Like, of this sickness spreading, of the contagion of it, and that whether it was personal or not, it just happened to be associated with these Boones.
The Boone pox, nothing more.
And then for Alice, like, thank you for mentioning that moment, but that like, you know, settling into the truth of that time and era, and not having judgment about toxic patriarchy or its effects on women, but wanting to represent my demographic as a 48, 49 and a couple of weeks year old woman.
Happy birthday!
To have all the humanity underneath the stereotype, right? And I don't believe the brothers Filardi gave me a stereotype, right? I think even the face, right? Like, grief can chisel into one's face a different expression over the years that just robs the joy, robs the capacity of love, or a laugh, or a giggle.
Why does the grass never grow here? Everything rots.
And I also chose to love my father, to love him, right? In spite of his observances or his, well, just to not have my modern woman involved in the judgment of any character, right? Or particularly not who I was gifted to breathe air and, you know, have heartburn with the corset and a few too many toots and some hot flashes. I was like, oh my gosh, these corsets. We started shooting in the summer, and the corsets, the petticoats, the everything, the beautiful wardrobe department. My son, I have twins myself, and my son Henry was trying to design me a gel outfit for my hot flashes. Like, he was like, we can duct tape leggings, Mom. We can, like, make gel leggings around you. And, like, so I would go from, like, fanning, going, but you know, again, Alice would have had hot flashes. Alice probably wouldn't even been alive, let alone have given birth in that era, right? Like she was
Yeah.
privileged to be as old as she was, because that was considered close to life expectancy, was not far past that, right?
Right. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that's not kind of historically accurate.
Eggs after 35. I'm sorry.
Was it? Oh, I think the only thing that's not kind of historically accurate is the age disparity between parents and their children in the show.
Yeah. I think
Right.
Elizabeth and Israel, similar to my own children, I conceived at 35. Fraternal twins are considered genetic. The identicals are sort of these crazy, beautiful, miraculous flukes where one gets split.
I didn't know that.
I don't know my father's lineage, but there aren't any biological, or there aren't any fraternal twins in my family. But I am told that once you were 35 as a female, you start to drop multiple twins. So to me, I decided that, whether Martin and Alice tried very often or not, I think children were a part of their, what was naturally assumed to be part of their marriage vows early on, and just didn't happen. And then one time it did, and not one, but two. The murder of our children. I loved your kind of astute observation at the grave scene, to be able to clock that there once was love.
They would be 6 next week.
I know.
Sometimes I worry that they drifted from your heart.
Never.
And have I drifted from your heart?
No. Of course not. You should go home, Alice. Try to get some rest.
Grief can do that with the loss of a child, that it crawls in as like this sad and angry and rageful troll, and in between, they probably had single beds forever anyway, but in between the love, both metaphorically, figuratively, and literally, that I think Elizabeth and Israel probably brought Alice and Martin together more so from this miracle of them both. And I love their names, both very ancient and regal names. There's, for me, a lot about the dissension of the sacred feminine and sacred masculine, not gender embodied, but obviously so in a little boy and a little girl, but within individuals, within the society that we were allowed to tell this story to it within. So I was so loved Honor and Rebecca being the notion of a modern woman, but pushing against this limitation of what is bound and constricted, like tight corsets, like only motherhood, or, yes, Alice got to teach, which I loved. And I'm not sure I would have been that teacher had COVID not been here. Like, I don't know what they did to sort of also, because they used who they had here. And I think originally there were a lot more characters in Preacher's Corner and within their story.
That's so interesting.
Kudos to the Filardis for utilizing who they had here in such dynamic and beautiful ways.
Whereas the minute I saw Alice was the teacher, my first thought was, of course the pastor's wife is the teacher at the school. Of course she is. In a small town, they weave the religion and the education together. Why wouldn't she be?
Yeah.
That is not what I would have thought would have been a different actor in the role, or a different character.
I think the
Wow.
older, there's another lovely actress who, Kellen Boyd, who played the teacher for honors age. So I guess
Yeah.
they split it slightly, and that Alice got to teach the younger kids, that was just such a fun moment too, right? Like as an actress, you know, noting again this kind of Loa's leg brace was on her left leg, which is considered the feminine side, right? And like this wolf trap, right? And yet her wild and her rebellious kind of Lilith Loa kind of pushback against external authority, her self-sovereignty, her like that I could endow that I could both fear it and be in awe of it. Like my hardest job as Alice was to pretend I didn't like these children. They are such beautiful human beings, such talent. Like I remember the Zoom, I felt like we were the Partridge Family, right? Because we got on to read the first episode. Yeah, and we were all over the place. And Jason and Peter welcomed us all, and Donald DeLine piped in, and he just was like glowing and buzzing with enthusiasm for this project. And as we began to read, I remember Ian Ho speaking the first time as Tank.
What if we put her in the water alive?
I assure you, son, we didn't.
He's going to sound! In stunsail! Down top gallants! Stand by 3 boats. Get those lines ready, Mr. Bones. Be sure they're fast to the irons.
And I like, again, truthometer, that sense of blessed that they cast this gorgeous little actor who never reached or played innocent, just still had it.
Yeah.
Right? Like his joy, because that's the law. Like that's the loss in Alice's, you know, children. That's the potential. That is the green grass, right?
Why does the grass never grow here? Everything rots.
He was just such openness and availability and vulnerability and never playing for affect. It was just so gorgeous. And Serena and Jennifer, she's like a firefly, right? Her grace and eloquence, and yet being able to dig out this feisty, like, and that all of them were allowed their feistiness, was all of Charles's parenting and Maya's. Right, like that they preserved their wildness and their sovereignty and their you know, their authority and their capacity to think independently by going to sea. Was, you know, as a I don't like to say single mom, I say solo, SOULO, but there's
nice.
You know, in our modern times, if I knew how to sail, I mean, there's, you know, that my version is buying a farm somewhere when they were younger, right? Like, how do we both expose and protect, and protect? And the writing of those 3 characters and the actors that they chose, it was such an amazing, magical joy to watch them just like settle into the bone marrow of just being those characters, not acting them, not forcing them, not manipulating a moment, just exquisite.
Yeah, no, Ian
and really lovely
definitely
people
had
too,
that.
right? If they were assholes, I'd tell you, but they weren't.
You're like, I hated these fucking kids, okay? No, no, I think I commented in my overall review, I said something, you know, specifically about Ian Ho, that I had I went to performing arts middle school and high school. And I had a teacher through all of my high school that started acting A for all of the freshmen that said, when you were kids, you had an imagination and you didn't care about people judging you. Now that you're 14, 15, you do. Pretend you're 5 again, be innocent, and live in your imagination. And adult actors spend their life trying to get back the imagination and vulnerability of a 5-year-old and then share it with an audience. And that's what we saw in Ian. And that's frankly what we saw you do in your performance as an adult actress.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I wish, I mean, perhaps that's what we all do. I think a lot of wisdom has come as I age. I'm a late bloomer in a lot of ways, and it's taken me a while to honor my process and to respect that I have the right to protect that. And to me, that's not always, it wasn't always easy in my younger years to go, sorry, I don't run lines, right? Like, A, you know, everybody's process is different, but B, I know mine. Like, but regardless of that, it breaks the verisimilitude by which I'm not method, but I'm that far on the other side of it, right? Like,
yeah,
when they call cut, I can joke around. I mean, Gord Rand and I, oh my gosh, bless him, he's the best scene partner ever.
They say the baby is grotesque. It has no eyes. Be better to have been stillborn.
A woman who had married two of her own might have more sympathy.
I have sympathy for the child, not the mother.
But we used to try to, you know, make each other laugh hysterically between takes. And often that would be him asking me whether, because I have years of yoga behind me, whether his parts of his body were relaxed enough. And of course I'd look over and he'd be like stiff. I'd just full laughing, right? Or his eyes would be like this and I'd be like, namaste the eyes. Namaste the eyes. And it just, right, yeah. But like, you know, I know what reality is and what isn't, but in order to access the soul tapestry of her 48 years of existence in the Preacher's Corner, within that realm, and I also don't really make decisions about what I'm going to do. I know, like, again, beautiful about the subtext, that's just what I have down, right? Regardless of what somebody's written for me, the truth of her reality, I just open to, and then open to the moments. And I think I read that Jason, I was like, oh no, did I do something wrong? But like, no take was ever the same. And I got scared. I was like, oh no, is that like, I would often ask Gord, I'm like, is this okay? He's like, no, it's okay. But
Sebastian, you should have seen that messaging between us.
Another actor or ever do anything, like, that's just not who I am. But I don't know. I mean, I think Michael Nankin, our last director, who's so lovely. I sort of wish, no offense to the first director, but I wish they had hired him at the beginning, because he's truly an actor's director, and his capacity to speak in that way without, like, it just is, it's so easy to receive and to implement. As an artist, you know, oftentimes you're translating, not for some directors, right? Like to try to go, I think I know what, yeah. But his was, he would use metaphor. He would paint with words, and it would be palpable, immediate, and I could trust him. It was like he was, you know, holding these helium balloons, and he didn't have to say, I'm never going to let that one go. I just felt it, which is an incredible space to be able to. And I think he said, you're like this channel that's just respect for life. And I loved that, because there is so much to our humanity that, as artists who tell stories, when we're given the opportunity to not limit that to just a fraction, sad, happy, or like that, there are so much complexities and nuance. And again, that's epic storytelling too, right? Like these Filardes, like I'm a Shakespeare whore. Like, I just language, imagery,
some of the language
metaphor,
is so beautiful,
like,
in
dynamics,
Chapelwaite.
you know, heroes and villains, villains and heroes. Like, it was just such an epically beautiful world to be able to be entered into, and with huge stakes, and all of the Shakespearean pieces, but yet I pride myself on, I don't know what uber realism means. I just, stillness with a whole fucking shitload going on under the skin.
No, that's totally what was it Gail Winar, another one of my acting teachers, talks about well, everyone does. I don't think she originated it, but kind of what you're talking about is the internal rhythms versus the external rhythms, right? Somebody who is steely on the outside, no matter what, like Alice tends to be, but underneath is roiling.
Women in town talk. Many are concerned that it might have been one of their husbands who was tempted by your youth.
It wasn't.
But it was someone. I can approach him for you. Why would you protect someone who's done this to you? He doesn't love you, Faith.
And how, as an actor, you combine those, that's what makes a real person, right? Because no one is good or bad. Even the bad people don't think they are being bad. They have justification for their reasons, right? Or justification for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. I tend to be casting a lot of like bad people. I played Uncle Peck in How I Learned to Drive, if that gives you an idea of kind of where I normally go. But yeah.
How? You too?
Oh yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You played Uncle Peck?
Most of my roles I played jerks and assholes or murderers.
Yeah, no, I think I played a pedophile 4 times.
Oh God.
That makes me upset because
Yeah.
well, kudos to you. That means you're a really good actor because
Well,
your energy is so.
well, thank
there's
you.
So
But
much
what's-
there.
And well, I'm going to digress for a second because I have a good friend, Mike, who he'd seen me in about 4 or 5 different shows since I had moved to New York, and most of them were bad guys. And then I did The Shadow Box, if you're familiar with that play, and I played Brian, who is it won a Pulitzer in '79, I think. One of oh, why am I blanking on his name right now? Evita.
Oh, Andrew Lloyd
Princess
Webber?
Bride. No. The actor.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, he's one of my favorites, and I'm blanking on the name.
MP is his initials.
Yes.
More MP.
I'm a terrible person right now. I'm a terrible person.
Musical theater genius. To kill.
No, he was
Princess
Che in the
Bride.
original production of Evita, and he was in The Princess Bride, and he was on Homeland. And
Isn't he also in as the CIA operative head
Yes.
in the movie with Claire Danes or the TV
Yeah, or
series
in
with
Homeland.
Claire
Yeah.
Danes?
Yeah. And for the oh my God, this is killing me
Patinkin.
because
Oh yeah.
Patinkin.
what is it?
Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin. Oh my God. Any other time of my life, before I even knew who he was, I could have pulled that name out. And right now I lost it. So it was actually one of his early roles on Broadway. He played the lover of this guy. Oh, he's great. It was the year before Evita, I think, which really propelled him to stardom. But so I told my friend Mike, this character is a guy who's dying of cancer, and he has a young male lover who, and his ex-wife, who he's still friends with, comes back, and they love him so much they're fighting over who gets to care for him as he dies. And this is the year after How I Learned to Drive, and I played all these terrible roles. And my friend Mike turns to me and he says, "Oh, so he's liked. Do you know how to do that?"
You are the most likable. That's kudos to you as an actor. There you go.
So no, that thank you, but that was Mike's a thing. But that's what I'm talking about is what you had is that whatever is under the surface is not necessarily what's on top. And these people are not cut and dry or black and white. Like if we look at something like How I Learned to Drive, it's a character that was just lonely. And he was an alcoholic. And this young girl offers him companionship and helps him get over his drinking problem. Everything else that happens is an unhealthy relationship between 2 people who are scarred. And what I love about that play specifically is that it doesn't put judgment on a relationship between a child and an adult. It just presents it, and we as the audience are horrified about it.
Are forced to wrestle with our own projections and transferences and everything. Yes, yeah.
Right. So this is exactly what you're
And
talking
again,
about, the rhythms and the right, what's underneath, and not judging the
Seb
character.
needs to go. He needs to say goodbye to you. He's gonna go, and I'm gonna continue to talk to you. Goodbye,
Well,
David.
thank you so much for stopping in.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks so much for allow me to crash for so long.
No, you said like about 5 minutes ago. I thought, didn't he say I had to leave 10 minutes, like half an hour ago?
I know, but
yeah,
isn't it? I was just captivated.
I know
by
this
everything
was
that
like
Jennie had to say.
I love hanging out with all you guys. This
I
is
know
awesome.
this is
Thank you so much for
fantastic.
coming.
Oh, my
doing that.
pleasure.
That was so great. I hope we caught it. Do we need another retake at the door? You did see who he was there.
No,
It's
I
raining
didn't.
out. It's very cold. What he's done.
I didn't.
True
You turned it toward the door, and I saw like a shape through the window, but I couldn't tell until you were actually there. Trust me, when I play this, you'll see, because the moment I could see that it was Sebastian, I think I went, like,
It's true, I saw it.
Okay.
you will see the moment.
Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
Thanks. We'll see ya.
Bye, David.
Have a great day.
His wife, by the
Wolfie.
way, is for their area in Dartmouth. She is a counselor woman. She is a phenomenal artist herself. Their kids are redonkulously good looking and
No,
funny
I have seen
and
your posts.
intelligent. But I know you noted because you did a little stalking on his Instagram and went. I
Hey,
laughed
he
so hard.
followed me
He has a
first.
beautiful
He
wife
followed
and
me
children.
first.
Well, if it helps, she's an extraordinary human being. We like
Good.
her very
I
much.
hope she didn't get too mad at me
Cinephile.
for objectifying you.
No.
No, not at all.
Okay, good. She's like, yeah, that's my man. That's my man. He don't get him.
That's my.
That's right.
I even had a towel in here, a clean towel, and I put the broil on my stove so the top would be warm, just in case he was too nipply. It's very nipply out. I didn't want him
No,
to
I
freeze out there.
know. It's very
But
cold.
I
Like
think he's okay. He's got his flannel.
Yeah,
and
I
his,
kept my flannel
and
on.
his
yeah. I think it's like 30 degrees here right now. And how far south from you am I? At least enough to change.
You're a 2.5 hour flight, but we're all set.
Oh God.
Oh, he's got to go. Bye.
Bye, Sebastian. Thank you.